12 seconds later.
How is this a kid's movie? Generic control into that goes. I'm here back with another Odd1sOut video. Today we have the movie that was too scary for baby James, which honestly I'm expecting this to not be a scary movie at all. I'm expecting to be like he was afraid of the squirrel and Ice Age and stuff like that. You can check out a reaction to last week's video, which was Cruel and Unusual Punishments that his mom did for him, or whatever the title of that video was, or his mom's. I'll leave it right up there. Also gonna link that below in the description. This was like the most liked comment. There's also one about the how to just live forever on 5-hour energy or something crazy like that. Never actually had a 5-hour energy, which probably surprises maybe 1% of you if you're a new viewer. Because I've never eaten an orange my entire life. I ate my first banana a year ago. I've never had a mango. I haven't had pizza in 6 years. Haven't had soda in 8 years. Just a little bit crazy, but this is actually a long Odd1sOut video. 67 million views though, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully I can make it a tiny little better. Hopefully I can make you smile. Hopefully I can make you laugh. Even if you're having the worst day possible, hopefully for the next 20 or so minutes I can make it just a tiny little bit better. I read all your comments, so leave some down below, and I respond to a lot of them as well. You can also go to Patreon for $3 a month, get you all of my reaction videos day early. So I'm completely against paywalls, because like I said, I'm here to make you smile, not make you pay. So patrons go so far in helping the channel, and they get the videos day early. I do 16 videos a week. Do it all myself. Couldn't do it without my patrons, like the anime channel, which my best friend Kirby is now joining me for Attack on Titan reactions, so that's gonna be crazy. She's on the one that dropped today and the one that drops on Friday, so that's gonna be awesome. But let's go ahead and jump into the movie that was too scary for baby James. When he says baby James, how young is he talking?
You said you were gonna make a teacher's part 2.
Teachers?
I didn't subscribe to fake
Also 23
news.
minutes.
I know,
this took
I
forever
know.
to make.
Don't worry, I'll do that next video. But right now we're doing this. So my friend Your Movie Sucks, great channel, over 500,000 subs, asked me and a bunch of other YouTubers if we could talk about a movie that scared us as a kid. Now, growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch scary movies. I remember one time my parents were watching a movie downstairs, and I went down to see what all the noises were about, and my mom said, "Oh no, honey, you can't watch this, it's too scary." And then years later, I learned that the movie they were watching was Jurassic Park. I think I could have handled it, Mom. I don't know if you can tell by the length of this video, but it's going to be pretty different than the videos that I usually post. But I think it's good to try out new things, and hopefully we'll all have a fun time listening to me talk about this movie. Because, folks, I'm excited to share with you the movie that traumatized me most as a kid.
What is it?
And that movie is, drum roll please,
what is it?
You already read the title, The Dark Crystal.
What? I've never...
so The Dark Crystal came out in 1982.
Wait a minute.
14 years before I was even born.
I know what this
movie
is.
was made for a whole different generation of people, but somehow I still saw it. I don't remember how I saw it. My family didn't own it on VHS, and I forget how old I was exactly, but let's say for the sake of this video, I saw this movie when I was 17.
I saw it
that's legally still
not even a year ago. Well, I didn't actually watch it, didn't pay attention to it.
Jim Henson. Jim Henson is the creator of, I don't know if you've heard of this, but The Muppets. You might have seen them before.
I haven't
There's no
actually.
denying that Jim Henson was a very talented man when it came to puppets, and the work he did on The Dark Crystal is amazing. As much as I'm about to talk
so
this
I haven't
movie
actually
down,
seen it. I wasn't even paying attention to it.
The most
it
enjoyment
was
I got rewatching it was just the
it was over at a girl's
appreciation
place,
of the
and
character design,
she
the
had
scenery,
it on
the costumes, and most importantly, the puppetry.
in the background.
Some of the puppetry was
and I was
amazing.
just roasting it.
Like this shot. How'd they do that without CGI? And did I mention that there's no people in this film except for full body shots? Then they just used a real person dressed up and had them not face the camera. But as I rewatched The Dark Crystal, I realized that the movie was
animatronic things
so
are
instead
kind
of
of
talking
scary.
about
I
the parts of
roasted
the
it.
movie
I don't
that
remember
scared
any
me
of
as a
it.
child, I'm going to be talking about why this movie was pretty bad. So now this video just turned into one of those bad movie review videos. But honestly, I like watching other people talk about bad movies, like The Room and Birdemic and what was that other one? I can't quite put my
That's a JonTron video.
For this video, I ended up doing some research, something I don't normally do for videos, and oh man, is this rabbit hole deep. Jim Henson had a bunch of ideas for the world of The Dark Crystal, but wasn't able to fit all of his ideas into 90 minutes of film. And because he didn't explain the rules of the world well enough, the movie suffered. It felt unfinished and unstarted.
Just like his
the movie didn't leave you wanting more,
draft.
it just left you thinking,
why am I watching this?
Wait, what? Some of you might be thinking, well, James, it's just a kid's movie. Kids are dumb. Why are you analyzing a kid?
Wait, it's a kid's movie?
Shut up.
Wait.
Shut up. Brian
those
Froud,
terrifying
one of the head
things
artists
for
of the movie even said that when we finished the film, we knew that we had only seen a fragment of this other world. Bad fragment, I guess. So even the creators of this movie felt that they left out a lot of stuff. So in 2012, a 3-part comic book was published to be as a prequel to the movie, and I bought and read all 3 of them. And I will say that they did do a better job explaining the world that Jim Henson had in mind, but you shouldn't have to read a book before you see a movie.
I thought it was like in like the 70s.
available until after the movie came out.
In the movie, stuff happens for no reason. Like in one scene, the main character, this is Jen, the main character, by the way. Get used to looking at this guy's face. I've done so much digging and research into this world that I'm completely desensitized by how weird this puppet looks. If you think this puppet looks creepy, you should have seen some of his earlier designs. I'm thankful this is what you ended up with.
And not
so in
those,
this scene, Jen is trying to pick out which of the crystal shards is the right one that he needs for his quest. And what does he do to find the right one? That's right, he plays his flute, and then the right shard he needed just glows. Wouldn't you do that too if you were in the same situation?
It's very Pokemon-like.
This movie doesn't explain why the crystal likes his music. It doesn't come up later. It just happens. That's basically this whole movie. Things
happen and you don't know.
So here we go,
you
children.
have to research
Hold
it.
my hand as I take you on a magical journey, but not too magical that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
That
so I
is
figured it wasn't a scary
Dark
movie.
Crystal.
So this is a movie review.
The plot. It starts with a narrator telling us that there's this
the
world and that
comments.
it's dying.
Y'all are
By the
gonna
way,
be
this
like,
world is
yet
named
another bad
Thra.
movie
They don't
I've
mention
seen,
it
but I haven't
once
seen
in the
anything.
movie, but in the prequels and in the Wikipedia article, they all called it Thra. Okay, Thra is dying because this one crystal, this one, cracked. How?
one.
I don't know. I mean, I do know because
Just
I read
happened.
the prequels, but this movie doesn't tell us. Are you still with me? Good, we're not even a minute in. Because this crystal cracked, 2 new species were born. The cruel skeksis, the bad guys, and the
bad
gentle
guys.
mystics, the good guys. And both species are dying. Now, I'm no biologist, but I
Lucky.
think they're probably dying because there's no woman. That would wipe out a species pretty quickly.
Yeah, it would,
Instead
yeah.
of having women, the skeksis use the crystal to
Women.
make them young again. Maybe. It's either the crystal or the sun.
So too they learn to draw new life.
Hopefully there's no segments
Okay,
that
so
are
then
like
what do you need the
blocked.
crystal for? Now we see the good
Yeah.
creatures, the mystics, and with the mystics lives another creature called a gelfling. It's like an elfling, but with a G. You may remember him from earlier. He's naked now, but meet your protagonist, Jen. This movie makes up so many words. Just try and keep up.
No,
And a journey.
it made up crystal.
The journey.
God, y'all, the
Okay, that's a
comment
little pretentious
section.
movie.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
tone it down a little. Then we see that the Emperor Skeksis is dying.
Y'all are
Oh
just-
no! And then we get the second scariest scene in the whole movie.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, we're not even 15 minutes in, and we're at the part that gave me nightmares.
You know that
Then
video, the dude
mystic
that
that's
bops a
basically
snake on the
Jen's
head when he gets
dad
mad?
is
That's
also dying, and
wow.
he tells Jen that he needs to find the cracked piece of the crystal, the
Crack.
shard, and then he just needs to plop that sucker back in the crystal where it belongs. And then boom, boom, the world is saved.
That's
Again,
Jupiter,
they don't
but
explain
okay.
why doing this would save the world. Like, they could have at least tried to make something up.
I'm
Like,
so
once the crystal
sorry.
is fixed, woman will appear. Jen's dad tells him to...
Follow the greater sun for a day.
The greater sun? Is there more than one?
Now, I'm no astronomer, but I think following the sun for a day would just make you go in a circle. What am I supposed to do when it's noon? Now, the Skeksis, they're
Always
like,
noon.
oh, well, dang it, guys. Who's going to be our new emperor? This Skeksis named Chamberlain,
It's time to make my move.
who is my second favorite character in this whole movie.
You have a
thinks that he
favorite?
should be emperor. I mean, who wouldn't want to be emperor of like 8 other bird monsters? The way that you can remember that this Skeksis is Chamberlain is that
Why?
every time he's on camera, he says this.
Why? This came out in 2012. The
Hey
face.
man, you can't be emperor, says the Skeksis. Oh yeah?
Oh god, the
Fight
comment
me
section.
for it,
Dude,
replied
I'm already
Chamberlain.
reading
Since
your
these two are
comments.
puppets and don't have lower bodies, they can't actually fight each other, which is super disappointing.
They
So
peck each
instead,
other?
the two have a competition to see who can hit a rock the hardest, because that's how you tell who's fit to lead. You can't have someone be your emperor when they can't even hit a rock that hard.
they have
Anyway,
swords.
Chamberlain loses, and all the other Skeksis banish him and rip up his clothes.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, now hold
1982.
on. Do you
Okay,
see
so it
what's
is
funny
old.
about this
Okay.
screenshot? This Skeksis is wearing
Glasses in front of
meaning
glasses.
In this universe, optometrists exist, and this Skeksis had to go through an eye exam to get his prescription.
But there's
Do you like
multiple.
number 1 or number 2?
Dude, it's so
anyone else
hard.
think that's
I literally
funny?
just got my
No?
new contact prescription
All right.
last
Anyway,
month.
after the Skeksis banish Chamberlain, they see in the crystal that there's this gelfling just walking around. Man, I didn't know the crystal could snitch like that. So they send out these crab monsters to get him. And by the way, those crab monsters are called Garthams, and they are created
Why?
by this handsome Skeksis. You'd know that
Handsome?
if you read the Wikipedia article. Anyway, back
Well,
to
I
Jen.
can't
What's he
read,
up to?
so...
Ready to go alone.
So yeah, this was a 1982.
Alright.
Okay, I was concerned when
Alone.
you said 2012.
Took you long enough. Jen is supposed to follow the sun to Agura's house. Aguras.
Agura.
He runs into her, and she's this old hag who tells him that the 3 suns are going to line up soon, and when that happens, the world might end. Or it will begin. She doesn't know. I know, because I've already seen this movie. She also, for some reason, has a box of crystals.
Looks like
One of them is the shard that Jen is
like,
looking for,
the
but
mouth.
she
It's
doesn't
just like
know which.
The Lexus. In front of a Lexus. That's a lot of shards.
Which one is it?
Play the flute.
Don't know.
So Jen narrows down the
no.
box of crystals to 3 shards.
It's one of these 3, I'm sure.
That fit the broken part.
No, you've never even seen the dark crystal. How do you know it's one
okay.
of those? Whatever, okay? I can roll with this. Then, if you remember, Jen gets the idea to play
Play
his
the flute.
flute at the shard, and then the correct shard just glows for some reason. Why does the crystal react to flute music? That's not a thing. Crystals don't have
I'm gonna
ears.
tell
Now, when you create
my
a
friend
fantasy world,
that
you can't
played
explain
this, that-
everything.
I might send him
Sometimes
this
the
video,
answer is
actually.
just, oh, it's magic. In Frozen, they don't explain how Elsa
seen
got her
Frozen.
ice powers. She was just born with it, okay? It's magic. And the audience is all okay with
Stephen
it,
King,
as long as they
is this
don't
you?
take it too far. But this movie just tries to pull off so much stuff that doesn't make sense. There's a line, and this movie crosses it multiple times. Then the crab people attack Agura's house, Jen escapes with a shard, boom,
Okay,
next day.
bye.
Okay, I
Out
know
the
I've been
window.
talking
There's
bad about
doors.
this movie, but the amount of detail in this forest scene is pretty amazing.
What was the budget for
it's
this?
not doing anything to drive the plot forward, but I just think it's cool to look at.
In 1982.
Anyway, back to review mode. Jen falls in the mud, what an idiot, and then he meets up
What
with
an idiot.
Oh, jeez, that's a girl! That's a girl! So there's a girl gelfling now. Her name is Kira.
I'll take a potato chip.
Eat it.
She's speaking
Yes.
gibberish.
My first anime. Well, that I reacted to.
And then
Kind
for
of
some
made my first anime.
unexplained,
I don't know.
unimportant reason, when they touch hands, they share memories. I mean, I don't know exactly what happens when you touch hands
okay.
with another woman. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think that's supposed
I
to
wouldn't
happen.
know either.
We're dream fasting, sharing our memories.
I'm having a bath.
Okay, 3
What?
things. First,
Three?
this seems like a
Three
plot devicey way to just throw in some backstory, but whatever. Second, Jen, you just found out that you're not the last of your species, and when you realize that you're sharing memories with her, you decide to show this person you just met you having a bath. I mean,
how do you-
I guess she did show you her mom dying, so let's just get all that personal
Ooh.
stuff out of the way. And third, somewhere on Earth,
That's
there exists
Jupiter.
a baby, naked Jen puppet. And I need to have it.
Burn.
Then we're introduced
Oh.
to my third favorite character, Kira's dog, Fizzgig.
That's
He
a
doesn't
dog-
really add anything to the
That's a
story. He's just
Pokemon.
that lovable pet/side character.
Oh my god, how many teeth does
Hey,
it have?
that's a lot like my dog.
Hey, Bobby!
Also, Kira can talk to animals.
What?
Okay. Then we're treated to this really great scene. A whole 2 minutes of the skeksis eating. But honestly, though, I kind of love this scene.
There's
It does a
a-
great job creeping
this
me
like
out.
all of them?
Okay, it does go on for a minute too long, but bear with
A
me.
minute too
the
long.
Skeksis' clothing and silverware are Victorian, so it gives off a haunted mansion sort of vibe. And just the character design and the way the Skeksis are eating, it just comes off as unnerving. A lot of movies,
As I
scary
literally get a
parts are
shiver down
jump
my
scares
spine.
or gore. At least I think they do that. I'm not allowed to watch scary movies. But this is such a different way to unease an audience. It kind of reminds me of the first half of a "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" video. Nothing necessarily scary
I saw
is
like the
happening,
first
but
2
it's
or
still
3 of
able
those.
to make the audience
I
feel
think they come out with
uncomfortable.
new ones, right?
Basically, the whole point of this scene was that the crab people were like, hey, we got this old hag, but we didn't get the gelfling. And then the skeksis were like, wow, okay, release the crystal bats.
The crystal bats, why don't you start with those?
Search the land! Search the
Why didn't you start with those?
Okay, this might be nitpicking, and I'm no gelfling expert, but I think you can rule out searching the sky. I don't see too many
maybe they
gelflings
can
just
fly.
flying around.
In
So
this
one of the
movie,
bats
it
finds
could-
Jen
it
and
could
Kira.
happen.
They go back to Kira's village. Jen doesn't even know where he's supposed to take the shard. His dad never told him what to do after he got the shard. He tells Kira about his quest and what Algura told him.
You know the 3 suns in the sky?
No.
They're going to come together soon.
Really?
It's called the great something.
It's the great, just
See,
the
even
great.
Jen doesn't remember these made-up names. Really would have been convenient if you told her this information when you were sharing memories.
Yeah.
So then the crab monsters show up and basically murder and capture Kira's whole family. Yeah, it was pretty
That's all- they're all
traumatizing.
family? I
And
guess
right
maybe
when
it's
the
a
crab
tribe
monsters
thing.
are about to attack Jen and Kira, Chamberlain comes out of nowhere. Remember
Out of
the
nowhere?
guy?
Who got banished?
He steps in between them and
he
stops the
lost.
attack, and Kira and Jen escape because Chamberlain saved them. Oh, and then Jen throws away the shard.
Why?
Boom, next day.
Why?
Kira finds the shard that Jen threw, and then the two find some hieroglyphics about a prophecy. It says a gelfling is going to save the world and kill all the skeksis. It doesn't matter. And then, oh, Chamberlain
Killed them all.
shows
Hi.
up. Hey, Chamberlain. Hey, guys, I'm sorry for killing your entire species. We just didn't
Does he
want the
make the sound?
prophecy to come to fruition. You understand, right? So what if we all go to the castle together, we can eat some food and just have a gay old time and talk this whole thing over. What do you think? And then he says, please a lot.
Please?
Please, 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 please.
God, those things are terrifying.
Please.
Now how can you say no to this lovable guy?
No.
He just got kicked out of the
Actually,
skeksis club.
no.
He just saved you from some
Awesome.
crab monsters, and he did say please a lot. I'm just saying, if I was Jen, I totally would have trusted Chamberlain 100%. But instead, Jen just stares at him blankly, and then Kira ruins everything and tells Jen not to trust him, and then they run away.
Wait! Please make peace!
It might have been the right call. So then, for
maybe.
some reason, Kira knows where the castle is, and since she can talk to animals, she calls up these things called Landstriders.
Landstriders.
They're
What?
just a person walking on 4 stilts, and they
Like
ride
I
the
did on TikTok
Landstriders
with
all the
Suit.
way to the castle. I have a lot of problems with
On
this
TikTok,
next
you know what I'm
scene.
talking
So one
about.
of the skeksis takes a podling that they just captured, locks it into a
podling?
chair, and tells the podling that they're going to suck its essence away and make it a slave.
Don't
hurt. We just want to drain your living essence.
Don't let me with a good time.
The same as the other podlings here.
This movie got a 7.2 out of 10.
You know, the podlings don't speak English. They speak a whole different language.
Give me your answers in English.
The skeksis is just talking gibberish to this guy while he's just locked in a chair like, what's going on? Like,
He's asking
none of what
questions
you're
he doesn't
saying
understand.
is going through this guy's head. And so only the Emperor can drink the essence, and that will make him stay young forever. So
Why don't
what
they
do
just
you need the
farm
sun for?
them? Yeah,
and
why don't
also
they
what
just farm
killed the
those
last skeksis? Looked like old age to me. Yeah, no, that's cool and all, but
Oh.
we get the most terrifying scene in the whole movie. That's right, this is the winner. You gave me the most nightmares.
Why are they?
You win $1
they're,
million.
They're showing it.
Congratulations, scene. I can go on for hours about how this
It's still
part of the movie
alive,
gave
though,
me
isn't
nightmares,
it?
but honestly, it speaks for itself. I think what made it worse was that the podling was tied down to the chair, and he was just
He had
so
no choice.
helpless, and his whole face melted off. And
That's
just,
where kinks come from.
But now that I'm older, all I can think is, what do you guys need slaves for? So far,
Yeah,
the only thing
why?
slaves have done was pull on a rope to make some swords appear out of the ground and bring you guys a plate of food. Why is there such a high demand
For
for
slaves.
slaves that you need to make new ones? What do you guys even
And
do all
they
day?
could just
Then
live
Kira and
off
Jen
of
arrive at
the
the
essence.
castle. They see the crab people taking in the
The
pod
crab
from
people.
Kira's village. They try and save the podlings, but completely fail.
Nice.
The Landstriders die immediately.
Immediately?
Jen and
No.
Kira open the cage that the podlings are in, and then the two get cornered. And what are they going to do, you ask? Well, isn't it obvious? They're gonna jump and slowly float down to safety
Minecraft.
because Kira has wings.
So they can't fly.
That never came up in the memory sharing
Because
bit.
they
So I
can.
guess when the skeksis told the crystal bats to search for the gelflings in the sky,
They knew they had wings.
they weren't that far off.
Yeah.
Hey Kira, sorry we left your whole family
I
back
predicted
there.
that.
Totally didn't save them like at all. They're probably gonna get turned into slaves now. Okay, we're almost
That's
done,
a problem,
everyone. We're getting
honestly.
to climax town. Jen and Kira sneak into the castle. Chamberlain's there. He basically murders Jen. And since he captured a gelfling, he's not an outcast anymore. You guys
What?
should have just went with him the first time. Now 2 Landstriders are dead. Kira goes into the slave room, and as a kid, I was already so traumatized the first time seeing a podling get turned into a slave, and now seeing Kira getting her
literally-
essence taken away.
Oh God,
I lost
that's,
my
that
mind.
happens to her.
Oh shoot! Kira's getting turned into a slave! Luckily,
Basically
remember
dead.
the old
A corpse.
hag
A living
Agura?
corpse.
She's like, yo, you can talk to animals, just ask them to help you. Oh, okay. She breaks free, and the animals push the skeksis that was in the room down this pit, and that kills them. Leading
Wow,
up to this
how
point,
fortunate
it's
just to have
hinted that
pit
the
there.
skeksis
OSHA
and the
would have
mystics are like connected.
an
When
aneurysm.
something happens to a skeksis, there's a mystic counterpart that experiences the same thing. So when this skeksis died, there was a mystic just walking around that just
Died?
none of the other mystics react. Yeah, it happens. Then we see that the mystics can control the crab monsters. I'm guessing it's because they're connected to the skeksis
Yeah.
who also can control
They're all-
the crab
they're
monsters.
all one and the same.
So having a mystic go with Jen on his journey in the first place would have been super helpful back when Kira's village was getting raided. All right, let's just wrap this up. Vizgig dies. Jen's not really dead. He finds the dark crystal. He jumps to it and then drops the shard. Kira has to
Wow,
throw
good
the
job.
shard back to Jen.
It got that
While
far?
she's doing that, she gets murdered. I
Oh!
said spoiler warning, right? And then Jen plops that sucker back into the crystal.
But
The
this
castle
that little.
crumbles around everyone, and the world is
But
safe.
how'd it even break?
But first, the skeksis and the mystics walk into each other because they're connected, remember? They become one again, and are you ready for this? They walk into
This
each
is
other.
far beyond.
And they
I only
turn
saw
into
like the
tree
first part
aliens.
of the movie.
I'm not
I wasn't
even
paying
joking.
attention to it either.
According to the prequels, these things are actually aliens. This is what the whole movie has been building up to. The bad guys are just one half of a schizophrenic alien tree person.
Like,
and if you read the prequels,
I didn't even meet
you
the
know that.
crazy
Is this
lady
supposed
with
to
one
be
eye.
a plot twist? Because to me, it just seems like a plot is doing whatever it wants. So much weird, unexplained stuff.
I'm glad I
already
didn't
happened in
watch
this
the rest
movie.
of this
So at
movie.
this point,
I'm glad
don't
I
even
didn't
care.
pay attention
By the
to
way,
it.
Kieran Fizgig don't actually die. This is a kids movie after all.
They don't
and then
die.
the world is saved, even though there's
How
only,
is
like,
this
3
a
people
kids
who inhabit
movie?
it now. The end. So
this in
that
his
was
closet.
the movie. Want to know something funny? I've already used more words in this video than there were words in the entire movie. Also, I need to ask, Jen was supposedly the chosen one.
At this time, Jen is the chosen one.
At
But
this
I would
time.
make the argument that Kira should have been the chosen one. Let me go
I mean,
down my
Death
list.
Note, so.
She saved Jen from the mud. She sniped a crystal bat out of the sky. When the crab monsters attacked, she had to tell Jen to run. She found the shard on the
Okay.
ground after Jen threw it. She tells Jen not to trust Chamberlain. She knew where the castle was and got the Landstriders to take them
Chamberlain
there.
was
She
a
used
bad
her
guy?
wings to float Jen down to safety. She was able to get out of being turned into a slave by herself. And she threw the shard back to Jen after his Butterfingers dropped it. And
Yeah.
how does she get rewarded?
By-
By getting stabbed. All
Nice.
Jen did was play his flute at a magic rock. This guy's a doofus. Who chose Jen to be the chosen one? Bad choice. Now, I've said who my second and third favorite character in this
who
movie
is this?
is,
Is it
but
gonna be
who's my
Oh,
favorite
no, Chamberlain's the
character?
second.
There's only like 3 other characters to choose
Yeah.
from, so who could it be?
It's gonna be the dog. Oh no, the
Well,
dog's
ladies and gentlemen,
third, I think.
my favorite character isn't in this movie. My favorite character of the Dark Crystal universe is Rayunip, Agura's son. Okay, I know I just finished the movie, but let me talk about the prequel comics for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Remember Agura, the old lady? Well,
Yeah.
turns out
She had a
she's an
son.
immortal being and has been
Oh.
around since the creation of this world. All right, and one day
Just
a
gloss over
meteor
that.
hits the planet, and she, like anyone else
Yet
would
again,
do,
that's still Jupiter.
gives life to it. And out pops Rayunip. And he's basically the main character of the prequel books, and is also technically an alien. I like him because he's the only one who questions what's going on. He asks
okay, he's the
same
only person with a
questions I'm
brain.
asking.
Got it.
So he's my favorite. He's the only character I ever wanted to cosplay. If they ever make the prequels into a movie, I call
I hope
dibs
they
on
don't.
playing Rayunip. That's how it works. I call
Oh.
dibs on playing this
I don't think it's gonna
character. I
happen.
just show up to auditions and I'm like, I actually called dibs.
He brought a lot of
so-
attention to this movie.
Also, in the second book, Algura and her son are having a moment, and Rayunip says, "Will you remember me, mother? After all the harm I caused?
No.
I will never forget you, child." Well, you didn't really seem to remember him in the movie.
Yeah,
Also,
no.
if there's any producers watching, that was my audition just now to play Rayunip. Would
Why-
I
why, just
recommend you
questioning?
watch The Dark Crystal? Well, I did just spoil the whole thing, so no, it would be a waste of time at
Nightmares.
this point. But if I was talking to someone who hasn't watched this video, then yeah, I would recommend it.
A
Even
kid's
with all of
movie
its
from the
flaws, I
80s.
still think it's a creative film, and I don't know, maybe it'd be
The
fun to
budget
talk
was
about it
probably
afterwards.
pretty
Maybe I was
high.
desensitized doing all this research, but I also enjoyed the prequel comic books. After
The
all, my
Dark
favorite
Crystal.
characters in there. There's also a manga that was made, Legends of the Dark Crystal.
The Dark
and it's
Crystal,
supposed to take place in
1982.
between these books and the movie, so these books don't even
74% of people. Box office
the start of-
41 million.
It leaves still on a cliffhanger. These books still leave on a cliffhanger. Speaking
Right.
of manga, there were plans to make a sequel to The Dark Crystal, another movie, but the film ended up getting canceled. But
The
a
budget
12-part
was
comic series is
25
being
million.
produced by Boom Studios, and it's not even completed yet. They're only on like the second installment. This is recent, you guys, so now is a great time
What?
to get into the Dark Crystal fandom. Like
No.
I said, I think The Dark Crystal is a creative story. Jim Henson really bit off more than he can chew making this movie.
The Dark
But seeing how
Crystal.
many comics
What?
have been made to tell this story, maybe The Dark Crystal is told better through comics and not with the limitations of puppets from the 80s.
True,
Anyway, that's
yeah.
just what I thought about the movie. If you're hearing this, that means that you made it.
To the end of the
This
video.
as of right now, is the longest video on this channel.
I enjoyed it,
hope I was
though.
able to keep you entertained
Dude,
for
oh,
such a long
God,
time.
the comments.
Be sure to check out all the other YouTubers
Go ahead.
who participated
Go
in this
ahead.
collab thing.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know
Just
why
do
I
it. I know
agreed
you're
to
going
do
to.
this. How do you guys make such long videos and not hate yourself? Just making
I made
this
100
video
videos
took
in
a
December
part of
all by
my soul.
myself.
I'm recording this end card after I finished editing it all, and I'm just leaning on the wall of my closet.
That's fair, yeah.
I just wanted
It's
to
very
be
tiring.
done.
I gotta
need
edit
to thank
5
my
videos,
friend
make 9
Ginger
thumbnails
Pale,
tonight, and I'm also
who
not
just went
sleeping tonight.
above and beyond and colored a lot of the pictures, so that's why
That's cool.
some of the pictures looked better than the ones that
Better.
I usually drew. Shut up. Like, I would just tell him, hey, draw this, and then he would just do it. What? If
Nice.
it wasn't for him, this video would have come out like a day later. He put off working on his own video so he could help me. So everyone thank Ginger
I think that was
Bale.
probably
and
good.
I bought a Chamberlain Funko Pop.
Why
he's
did he
my
make
favorite.
that?
Why is he my favorite? I don't have to explain anything to you. On my Imgur account, I made a comment a year ago that's just a reference to the Dark Crystal, and you should all upvote it. So just
sure.
Frick, man. Just wear your seatbelt.
Wear your seatbelt. What's the next Odd Ones Out video going to be? Leave it down in the comment section. I read every single comment. God, the comments. You're going to enjoy the comments, okay? If you're watching this video and it's been out for a little bit, just take a stroll onto the comment section. It's going to be hilarious because they're going to be roasting me because there's so many movies I've never seen. I've never seen a single Batman movie, okay? A Superman movie, a Star Wars, Star Trek, any of that. But I've never seen A Christmas Story. I've never seen A Christmas Carol. I've seen Christmas with the Cranks. I've seen Rubber. I've seen the first Suicide Squad movie. I've seen the Green Lantern movie. I've seen, or not really seen, but I just know that this movie exists. And I've seen, like, the very beginning of it. I was also distracted, but that's irrelevant. But the fact that I know that this movie exists and have watched more of the Dark Crystal than I have of Star Wars, Star Trek, Batman, literally everything else that everybody else has already seen that grows up watching combined. The comment section is going to be hilarious. I look forward to reading it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Hopefully I made you smile. Hopefully I made you laugh. And, you know, come back next week or maybe check out some other videos from my previous Odd Ones Out video. Like I said, last week's video was, it was his mom's cruel and unusual punishments. That was a really good video. Oh, man. What movie scared you as a kid? Let me know also in the comment section. Like I said, I read every single comment and reply to a lot of them as well. I'm going to be laughing. It's going to be great. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. But until next video, take care and keep the music.
We were playing an asshole.